Hello, loves. It's Hills from the Blue Flame Apothecary. How about that equinox? Whew. I hope everyone is integrating well and feeling good. There was a lot of energy that moved through that portal, and it's still moving. It's still moving. We're coming into the new moon on Sunday. I'm recording this on Saturday, the 24th. Sunday, the 25th, will be the Libra New Moon. The Equinox event in the members portal was gorgeous, and everything's going to stay in that portal. So if you feel called to explore what is on offer in the Blue Flame members portal, I'll put a link below, and you can start to flow with those frequencies. Let's dive in to the new moon. We're going to start with Mercury and Venus. Mercury is moving retrograde, as we're all probably pretty well aware at this point, and has just moved past the sun, who's gone into Libra, and re-entered Virgo, where it's bringing these divine messages that it received from the Galactic Pole, where it was sitting during the equinox, back into the earthly realms and meeting up with Venus. Venus's energy is, the morning star and the evening star. Venus is moved into its star point now and is moving closer and closer into the conjunction with the sun that this beautiful planet will have next month, kind of as we're approaching eclipse season. Let's not jump into that pool yet. The way that it is feeling for me as I have been opening up to this Mercury-Venus conjunction happening in Virgo on the new moon is, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Never-Ending Story. It's a kid's movie from like the late 80s, I think, maybe mid 80s. There's a scene kind of towards the beginning of the movie where all of the beings from all over Fantasia, which is the land where the Never-Ending Story takes place, or part of it anyways, gather because there's a no thing, there's a nothing sweeping the land. And they're scared, and they want answers. How can we help? How can we bring more into save our people, really? And when they get there, they find out not only is there not necessarily a good answer, but the princess is also sick. And a little boy, Atreyu, is, I'm getting too far into the narration of this story. Let's bring it in. Mercury on the equinox was at the Galactic Pole. And it feels to me as if Mercury was sitting there at that meeting and learning about the no thing, learning that the princess was sick, and also learning that there was a way, there was an answer, and comes back to the earthly realm, to Virgo, to meet up with Venus and be like, oh yeah, you know what it was all along? It was love. The answer was love. Interestingly, in the movie Never-Ending Story, the answer for Fantasia is love and imagination and curiosity and wonder. And Mercury and Venus are sitting exactly across from Neptune and Pisces. Dreams and imagination and curiosity and wonder. And what is it that all of those feelings have in common, they are all love-filled feelings, right? Imagination and curiosity and wonder, they're childlike. They're from a place within us that is not yet jaded, that has come into this physical existence and is like, holy shit, what is this party? Hell yes, I am down for this. Let's play. I want to play in the dirt. I want to make mud pies. I want to dance and I want to sing, and I can still see fairies. That's what Mercury conjunct Venus in Virgo, directly across from Neptune and Pisces, is feeling like on this new moon. So what amazing energy. Like, we're coming out of this equinox and we're looking forward. We're in our forward mirror. We are seeing eclipse season, and we're seeing Saturn square Uranus, and all of these things that can feel weighty, they can feel dense, they can feel heavy. And we're being gifted this way. Libra's about balance and relationships and community and how we interact. And Venus is also one of the rulers of Libra. So, not quite into a home sign, although Venus is very comfortable in Virgo as well. There's this way that we're being asked to release the fear of that which is falling away, that which is so uncomfortable, so loud in its vibration, and to feel into that space in our heart that still sees fairies, that can look at a sunset and say, oh my gosh, that is the most magical thing I've ever seen in my entire life, even though it happens every day. It's funny, as I was saying that, there was a little kid playing outside, really, really effervescently. It was really fun. There is a lot going on with this new moon. There's an Earth Grand Trine that Mercury and Venus are part of. They're actually almost exactly trine to Pluto and Isa in Capricorn, and to Kali sitting atop Algol, and Sedna sitting atop Alcyone in Taurus. It feels like we're going to go into this territory a little bit. We've gotten to play in the mystical waters of Neptune and Pisces, flowing through the conversation that Mercury is having with Venus about what we're being given, our remembrance of what we have already within us. Message from the Galactic Pole. Pluto and Isa. Isa, if we remember, is the name of Jesus, or Yeshua in Arabic, or the name that's used in the Quran to talk about Jesus. These two have been dancing in Capricorn for a little while, and Isa is about to start to move forward into Aquarius as Pluto continues retrograde motion. Pluto will actually be meeting up with Isa again in March of next year. We'll go there when it's time to go there. For now, they are conjunct in the end degrees of Capricorn. And we have been floating around in this Pluto Capricorn energy for a while, breaking down those structures, the foundations, that which we don't need anymore. And I read a really beautiful description of Capricorn energy the other day, that Capricorn is seeking for highest potential, pursuing the highest potential of all. And that's what this combination feels like to me. That Issa is there saying, this is what we have on offer, the full embodiment of our light. And Pluto's like, yeah, but we need to clear out the basement first. Like, we need to get rid of all the grief and the anger and the resentments and the beliefs of being separate from ourselves. Most of all, though, it feels like we need to clear out the belief that another being, another entity, another person, a system, a government can power over us. We have spent most of this common era and a lot of the era right before it in a state of belief that our kings and our rulers and our government systems are the holders of power and are the only ones that can connect in with the divine. Our churches as well. The new template that's being brought forth is for us to remember that we are all our connection to the divine. We are all intimately connected with the divine because it's right here. But in order for us to remember that, we also have to let go of all of those false beliefs, all of those patterns and projections that we've put on others and that others have put onto us about how it's supposed to look and how communication with the divine feels and who's allowed to do it and what building you have to be in and, blah, 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 blah. All of the things that we have been told and we've told ourselves and we've told other people about what connection to our divine love light is. And that's what Pluto and Issa are doing in Capricorn. And they are sitting directly trine to this Mercury Venus in Virgo. And it feels as if Mercury and Venus are like, yeah, remember your love light, and let's purify. That's that Virgo energy, is purification, healing energy. It's a healing balm being swept across your entire being to remember that you're actually already whole. And Kali is sitting with Algol, the demon slayer, atop the demon star, and Kali's about to go retrograde. So Kali's not leaving this star anytime soon. I've talked a bit about Algol in other updates, and I'll link them. Algol is in the constellation of Perseus, where Perseus is holding Medusa's head, and it would be right at Medusa's third eye. And it feels like Kali is there as a reminder to trust our truth, our whole truth. And she will sometimes quite forcefully remove masks, remove that which is not true. And sitting with Algol the way that she is, it feels like ripping the mask off of the stories that we have told ourselves about what sight is, and how we see and who's allowed to see and who the mystics are, who holds power and what power is. And Sedna, who is a lord of the underworld as well. I've talked a lot about her, and I'll link for that as well. She's sitting with Alcyone. And one of the ways that this is feeling for me, Alcyone is the great central sun of the Pleiades, also the star, which our galactic neighborhood, the not the wider like cosmic neighborhood that our galaxy is in, but the arm of the Milky Way in which Sol and the Earth and all of these planets that we're talking about and the asteroids sit, all revolve around Alcyone. And Alcyone is one of the, it's hard to, one of the seed planets for the template that is the living Earth, the living library that Earth is. Alcyone is connected to many stories of creation, like Sirius is. And there are two stories within Alcyone. Alcyone is actually meets conjunct with the sun the day that the sun shifts over from Taurus to Gemini. And you can feel that in the story of Alcyone and of the Pleiades, that they are the bringers of spring, of light and love, and they're giddy and they're funny. And when people talk about the Pleiades, they get all giggly and happy a lot. And I do too. I mean, I just did, right? If I'm channeling Pleiadian meditation, it often has a giggle and a laugh in the back of it. Because they are happy. Their other aspect is that they reach their zenith, their highest point in the sky at the time when we collectively celebrate the Day of the Dead and Halloween and Samhain and all of these festivals of the falling away. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, this would be reversed as far as when the sun meets with the Pleiades and when it reaches its highest point. So if you're in Australia, the Pleiades are hitting their highest point as you're moving into summer, right? And they're meeting with the sun as you're moving into winter. And we can feel even in that they are both life and death. And that their giddiness and their happiness and their love and their joy is that it requires life in order for death, and it requires death in order for life, and all of that is fucking beautiful. You know, we have been taught for so long that to be incarnate in human form means suffering. And that we have to suffer, we have to experience pain. There is a sense that what we are being asked to remember is that death isn't final, and so we don't have to experience it as pain. That we can experience every emotion, even anger, from a place of love, and therefore it is also joy, right? Releasing grief, you know, we cry. We also cry when we're ecstatically happy. There's been a meditation that's been flowing for me over the last week or so, and it was part of the Equinox live circle. It's gone into the Cosmic Light Drops newsletter, which will be up in a few hours. And it's more of a musing, a place for exploration, but not simply mental exploration, but from this brain, from your heart centers, this wisdom center of, and it's a set of questions, a series of questions, which might be a really interesting way to explore the frequencies of this coming new moon in Libra. What if you are not broken? What if you are not fractured? What if you were not sick? What if you were not separate? What if you are already healed? What if you are already whole? What if you are already complete? What if you do not need to be healed? What would life look like if you allowed yourself to believe the truth, which is that you are not separate? You are not broken. You do not need to be fixed. What would you be doing in the world? If you remembered the truth that in your heart center is your light, and it is all there already for you to access. There's a lot of buts and ands and howevers that you could put on that, right? Because we've been told since we were born, basically, that we have this wrong with us or that wrong with us. We need to clear this karma, and we need to do that in order to ascend, and it's that, the other thing. Maybe even if you can hold it for 10 seconds, hold on to the belief and the remembrance that you are already whole. You are already love. You simply forgot, and that's okay. That was part of the deal. That was part of the deal, was to forget so that you could have the glorious experience of remembering. And then you can forget again, and then you get to remember again. And each time you remember, maybe you remember for a little bit longer, and then a little bit longer. And part of this is to not have any judgments over the other voices that might tell you that that's crazy, or no, you still need to heal that thing, or you can't do that because you have to do this. Have compassion and love, because they are trying to protect you too. They're trying to protect you too. They think that that's going to help, because if you believe yourself complete and whole, what the fuck are you going to do in this world? Holy shit, that's too big. I can't do that. And that's part of Kali as well, right? Cutting away anything that's not true. And when you cut away all the things that are not true, what comes in? That you are your whole light. And you get to embody it. Yum. Oh, I would love to hear from you anything and everything that may have arisen from today's energy update, how you're feeling from the equinox and how you're feeling about this new moon that's coming in. The Cosmic Light Drops update will be out in a few hours. I am still integrating all of the equinox myself, so I'm still writing it, but it's almost done. I'll put a link below, you can subscribe to it, and that way it'll hit your inbox as soon as it's ready. Come check out the members portal if you're so called. The October gift is a beautiful tea that came through and was gridded on the equinox, and I'll share more about that in the coming days. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to the channel, all the things. And however you are called to journey into your remembrance of your divine light, it is with so much love and so many gratitudes that I share any and all of the space and time that we get to share together. Thank you. And from all the dimensions, so much love.